Trust the process. How many times have you heard that from me, from everyone else around you, from yourself? Like how many of you probably have post-it notes of it all over your house? Trust the process, trust the process. But to fully trust the process means letting go of your past, letting go of future outcomes, letting go, like detaching yourself from people, situations, all of it. It's to fully immerse yourself in nothing, in the unknown. Hello, my beautiful warriors of love. My name is Sabrina, for all of you that are new here. I have done literally 3 Let's Talks right before this one in the past week, which like hour-long ones, which I haven't used because I wasn't fully in it, right? I can't even explain. The energies are strange for me. I don't know how they are for you, but there is it's not like a black hole situation. It's not like a depression situation. It's completely, I feel like I've moved into something new. I have no concept of time. I have no idea what day it is, what the hour is. I have no time. The only reason I do is because I have to do a weekly tarot reading for you guys or whatever it is, but there's no, I'm like, oh, it's Saturday. Oh, okay. So that's that kind of energy. And that's a lot of people feeling this too. There's this slipping away of restriction, kind of. Even rules. That's coming up a lot for me in my field. Already I'm a little bit of a rule breaker, but now it's not about breaking the rules, it's just not seeing the rules anymore. I don't see them. So a lot of you know, and I think in my last video before the tarot reading, I talked about the law of attraction and a law that I picked up on Neville Goddard's videos, but it's happened throughout my life. I used to be a Louise Hay fan. I used to like, The Secret and all of these things. Joseph Campbell, I believe it was. I'm not sure. There's a whole bunch of different mentors that have talked about the law of the universe, right? In my whole lifetime. And I'm sure a lot of you too, because if you're on the spiritual path, there is like 100% chance that you've passed by this kind of material. And it's come again, I'm in my life, and it's almost like, okay, Sabrina, are you ready to fully trust this process? And I am. And I have to tell you that I've noticed a change in me, and the change is this. Is that I feel disconnected to the whole. Like, I feel even disconnected to my spirituality, because I don't even feel like, I feel like that's even a label, right? And there's nothing wrong, and I'm not judging, obviously, anybody who feels spiritual, who feels religious, who feels this, who feels that, whatever it is. It's all this, like, these levels that we need to move through to get to another level kind of energy, right? And to get to another path, to get to another phase, I have no idea, to get to another reality, another realm, another dimension, whatever it is. It's all like words anyways. It's like, it's all about the energies that we're feeling. And I'm feeling I'm feeling the best I've felt in a long time. And why is it? Is because for the first time in my life, which is phenomenal, I'm not asking why and how and when are things going to change for me and why. Like, it's like I stopped asking why. And that's a big thing, because I always wanted to know. Like, but how is this gonna happen, and where? Like, I also asked the 5 W's. I always wanted to, like, I would talk to my higher self, and I have less conversations with my higher self, And that is, I was like, oh, I wonder why that is. And my first instinct is because it's like full integration mode, right? It's not like, it's like we are all, like I always say, we're all the children of God, we're the children of the universe, but we are also the universe. And it's when you start to tap into that fact that you are it, and you are that power, and you have that power to create your life, you realize, okay, and we know it, right? And I've said it so many times in videos, like we are the directors of our own like movies. We are the creators of our own dreams. We are the creator of our own destiny. You know, we are this, we are this, we are this. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to fully believe in it. And it's another thing to fully embrace it. And I have to tell you that in the past few weeks, there are moments where I've caught myself in no thought. Like, you know, it's like, I'm like, oh, I can't even think of something to think about. I mean, no thought, right? Like, but that's a thought if you think about that, right? But I mean, it's like, I'm conscious, I'm living consciously. That's where I'm getting at. So how do we live consciously? Like we always, you know, we get on this journey and we fall in love with our subconscious, and we fall in love with our spirit self, and we fall in love with our soul, which is amazing to fall in love with. But then we forget that to fully embrace that, we need to learn to live consciously as well, because we're all working together. Now, the ego is the part of the conscious mind, but the ego and the mind itself is controlling, and in its defense, it's doing it to protect us, right? It's like in survivor mode all the time. It's always like trying. It's the period of the sentence. It's always trying to figure it out. Like, oh, we need like reasoning and logic, but there's no logic in the unknown, and there's no reasoning there either. That reasoning is part of this 3D reality, like having to figure something out. You know, this is something interesting I watched in one of those videos, and it was like reality. Like reality for the mainstream or the collective is reality is the facts. This is it, that's it. What they see with their eyes is reality. But when you move through this journey, you realize what you see with your eyes is actually illusion. It's not real. And it's very challenging. Yes, I know that. And I know you're saying, what's challenging, Sabrina, to like, but it's here, it's real. I can see it, I can feel it. And then it's real. It's like, and I'm like, I know it is, because we've created this all as a collective unit. We've all created these things in our life, but they're not real. I sound like my philosophy teacher. I failed that philosophy class. I'm sure I told you that already. Like, okay. But it's like we are, even if you see it as real, let's say, but you can create the next a part of your reality, which is what I'm trying to get at. Like, yes, these things are real. My house is real. My paintings are real. My plants are real. But your poverty mindset, your relationship that's going bad, your low self-esteem, your health problems, your lifestyle choices, those things are causes, you know, that it's like a cause effect. They're circumstantial for the moment, because you don't truly believe in the process. You don't truly believe that you are the creator of your own destiny. Like you believe that someone else outside of you is responsible for creating your life. You believe that someone else should direct your life. So this is a program. It's a program that has programmed us in all of our lifetimes, and here we are, cancel, clear, deleting the program. and it's hella hard. Like, it ain't easy, right? But when you start to see it, it's like there's no freaking way I can ever go back. There's no freaking way that I want to attach to the past. I don't want to attach to the past anymore. And what does that mean? It means like, yeah, there's memories. I have memories of my family members that have passed on, but I'm not holding on to the whys and the whens and, oh my God, why did it happen? Because it just happened. There's no point in going back to something that does not exist anymore. It's like some people who break up in relationships, or people who are get rejected, or they by their jobs or their relationships, or they're in like when you're in the process of breaking up with your partner, and then you feel bad and you stay because they are like, no. This is such a big moment. This is part of your dream where it's like you as the creator already wrote this scenario down, and then you're like going back and you're like erasing. It's like, no, don't go back. Keep moving forward, because it's always at that moment. This is the thing that we need to understand. This is something that I've understood too. It's at that moment of discomfort. It's at that moment, that tower moment that's blowing up in your face by him telling you, I don't love you, for the 10th time, by her telling you that you're a bitch, by like your boss telling you you're worthless, by them telling you this, but all these like things, these doors closing in your face, unexplainable, by your health issues showing up, by all of these things coming up in your face. This is the moment that God, that you have created, that it's going to blow up in your face 100,000%. But at the other side of that is something so grand and great that you can't even imagine it. You can't even imagine it. But it's coming, it's there, right there for you. But what does the human do? The human is stubborn. The human listens to the ego and says, no, you got to play safe, and you got to play within the lines, and you can't upset him or her or them or the society. You can't like go against everything, and you got to stay in the box, and you got to do this because that's the way it is. You can't heal yourself. You got to go to the medical system. You can't. But you can do everything. And it's at that moment where God, the universe, is pushing you. It's like, okay, open the freaking door, human. Stop closing the doors before, like, because you're afraid. Because you're afraid, because you're worried, because you're doubt, because you're stressed, because you're impatient. There's the moment. You've been there. And I know all of you have been at that moment, and where you went backwards a little bit. Right? Because you didn't trust the process. So what happens with manifestation? So everything that you see right now, your reality that you see, because reality exists in consciousness, which is, I always go up, but it could be lower conscious, higher conscious. It could be a consciousness. So basically reality is here. Right? It's like, it's not necessarily physical, it's energetic. So who do you want to become? Are you following your dreams and your passions? And don't sit and roll your eyes and say, well, I can't do that because I need money to pay the rent. Well, that's bullshit. That's where I'm at. And it's like, wow, man, you realize that you don't need, like, you're not here to need things, because you're here because you are everything. And you have to fully grasp that, like move into that, like isness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I is abundant. I am love. I am healthy. I'm freaking amazing. You know, I'm beautiful. I'm whatever. Whatever. I am loving. I am free. I am peaceful. I am. what you focus on is what you receive, right? And I was thinking about this, like, you know, we focus on, if we just look at all the isms, right? You focus on the net, it's always about focusing on the negative of it and the lack of it. Instead of focusing on the beauty of moving forward, of moving into the unknown. We're always like stuck in the past. You know, and it's the like, the key to moving forward, I'm going to be jumping all around here because it's just what's coming up in my head. The key to moving forward is detachment. It's detachment. First of all, it's loving yourself, detachment, and having faith, which is having trust in yourself. Loving yourself is numero uno here. Loving yourself, loving your truth. Not you doing things for you. Not for everyone else around you. Not because it makes my mother, my father, my kids, my husband, my wife, my friends, my boss, society happy. No. This is your dream. This is your life. How do you want to see your life and your movie? Like, literally sit down, like, close your eyes and imagine what it is that you would like to see with your life. Are you living in your dream home right now? Are you driving your dream car? Are you do you have your dream friendships? Do you have your dream partner? Are you living the life that you always dreamed of? Can you tick off all these things? And if you can, kudos to you, woman or man, who are listening to this, because that's freaking amazing. But a lot of us do not live the dream because what we told about this dream. You're just living in a la land. Oh, you think that things are going to come because you're dreaming about it or you're imagining it? And I'm like, yeah, actually. Because the life that you're living in right now was dreamed by you in the past, weeks, months, years. And a lot of people dream of disaster, and a lot of people dream of bankruptcy. A lot of people dream of that. They see like, oh, everything you say, be careful, because you're like, oh, yeah, I'm never gonna have enough money to like blah 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 to do this. Can't wait. Or I'm never gonna find my man because I'm 80 years old, so I can't do it. I'm never gonna do it. I am, and so the universe is like, okay, you can't. Yeah, okay then, right? I am spell. It's a spell, and you just told the universe that you can't. So they're like, okay, you can't, so you won't. Because why? Because you're it. You're working with the universe. So you tend to forget. You think that God is separate from you or the universe is separate from you, but it's not. It's you. So when you say I am da da da, it's you. You are writing it down in your book. Let's say, like, pretend it's a logbook, or pretend it's like the Bible, right? It's your own Bible that's being written per person. So this is what she wants in her next chapter, in the next verse, in the next thing, right? So think about it like that. If you're religious or if you're not religious, just think about it as a book. You're choosing the thing. I want to bring up something really quickly. I was watching a movie, and it was about an alcoholic. And at the moment, there was like this aha moment where the guy goes up, he goes, my name is blah, blah, I'm an alcoholic. And then everybody says, and I'm like, oh my God, what a scam. Basically, everyone who's an alcoholic, a narcotic, whatever it is, like drug addict, you're basically telling the universe that I am this, and I will forever be that, because you go to these meetings every week. So you are imprinting it in your subconscious mind that you are that, and you will never be healed of it. And I know it's triggering for some, because some of you go to these things, some of you are like, well, it's helped me, I know, but think about it. That's not the way to heal the body, because you're telling your body that you are it. You are sick. So the body keeps you sick. That's why you're like, always a heroin addict, always a thing. I mean, yeah, because you keep telling yourself that you're always that. Because it's so easy to tell your body otherwise. Easy? Yeah, it is easy. Because you're the creator of your life. I'm going to tell you a little story now. Of course, because there's been all these stories that come up. I had, oh, it's gone. I had a little thing here on my face. I went to do a facial. The girl was like, oh, you know, you should go get that checked out. You should go to a dermatologist because it looks like it could be something, right? The C word. And I looked at her and said, oh, it's not, because I'll heal it. And she's like, oh, okay, Sabrina, like, you know, whatever. I'm like, okay. I left and I began the work of healing it, and it's completely gone. 1 week later. Why? Because I really truly believe that I am the healer of myself. I do. That's one thing I have a big conviction on. I truly believe that. So if I can believe it, you can believe it, right? But it's really about believing it, not about just saying shit. You can't just say, I am rich, and then act poor. You can't do that. It doesn't work, right? Because then if you act and you think like a poor person, oh, I'm not going to spend that money because I can't, because I'm not. Then, so I started to do something which has helped me, you know, because that's one of the biggest obstacles for me, right? So that this poverty mindset that I kept bringing back into my life. So I went out and I spent a lot of money at a restaurant. I took out someone, and I spent out more money than I would have spent. And I was like a little bit, you know, but I got out of the restaurant, I closed my eyes, I relaxed, and I said, okay, I'm grateful that I had enough money in the bank to take this person out, who it made her happy to be taken out, and I'm glad that I did it. And I'm happy, thank you universe, and thank you Sabrina, I'm talking to Sabrina, for giving me this chance to do this, right? And in that instant, I switched my poverty mindset to gratitude for this money, right? And it's this. So if you're in any situations that we have, we're always either, I mean, how many times, okay, I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm like, it's 50-50 now with all the people I've been asking. So how many times, I think it's generational, but let's see. How many times have you been driving in a car and you imagined an accident? You imagined the guy like hitting you and like you in the car, or if you ever been in a plane and you imagine the plane going down, or, you know, all these kinds of scenarios. You know, you're in a relationship and you imagine him cheating and this and that and that. So what are we doing? When you imagining something, you are actually putting it out into the field. And it will come back to you. Will you die in a car accident? It's if it's not part of your destiny, no. Well, you might have a little accident. Will it be in a car? No. It might be, you might twist your foot. You might, you know, like whatever, bump your head somewhere. And that's how it will come into your life, right? So if you're always imagining shit in a relationship, if you're always imagining someone cheating, lying, that it will come to you again. It will be a friend that lies to you. It'll be some, you know, because your imagination is the reality in the consciousness, is what it is the creation of your life. So instead of imagining that crapola of other people, of this, because recently I had a client session, and she's dating someone, and he doesn't want a serious relationship. She wants a serious relationship, and so he I told her, I said, well, if you don't have the same kind of thing going, you're not aligned, you know, there's no point in trying to fix someone or change someone, right? So she's like, okay, yeah. So, and then she was being like mean towards him, making him the villain. And that's what we do with like situations. Like, there's no villains here, right? Like, you know, whatever his issues are or whatever it is, it's like their issues. Let them deal with their own thing, and you deal with your own thing. We're not here to create enemies of people or villains of other people, but you're also here to better yourself. You're here to love yourself. And that's what the most important thing is, right? We go back to that. And to detach yourself. So, like when you go into relationships, detachment, if you're already have learned the law of detachment, I don't know if it's a law, but I've created it. The law of detachment is like not, not attaching, not holding on to other people's views or opinions or perspectives, and being like fully trusting of self, right? And also when you fully fall in love with yourself, you're able to detach more, because because detachment means that you're afraid, you have like fear inside you, fear of someone leaving you, fear of not being loved, right? That's why we hold on to people. That's why we're like, oh no, he's cheated on me and he's rejected me 10 times, but I'm gonna continue moving on this. I'm gonna make him. Like, why would you do that? It's the universe saying, get the F out. Right? What are you doing? No, but I'm going to change his mind because I can't find love somewhere else. I'm like 65 years old. I'm 80. I'm 40. I'm 20. I want a baby now, Sabrina. I need to fight. Like, everything happens in divine timing. That is trusting the process. Trusting that, not thinking, like, stop asking you the who, what, where, when, whys, and hows, and trusting. So now I live my life knowing that I have put out there. First of all, I did that thing I told you guys about. I leave all my worries. I hope you don't see the hole in my thing. I leave the worries into the hands of God with the trust of a child, knowing that everything and all will be taken care of in the highest and greatest good. I do that. I've done that already. I've left it, and I said, okay, I'm not gonna revisit it over and over again, because I trust the process. Every night before I go to bed, or all through the day, by the way, I am in full imagination mode. I have my house. I already see it. I got the whole scenario. Every day I've added scenario into this house. Like it's been going on for years now, but now I truly believe that this is going to come true. When, how, I have no freaking idea. I have no idea. I put out, I know, like, different scenarios. I'm creating an imaginary, like I'm creating my into my future, like my outcome, into the unknown. I have no idea when, how, what. But and as I do it, as I put it out there, I don't ask the questions when it's coming, and I just continue living my life. And I keep telling people it's the diving into creativity is helpful, or diving into like books, going into like a fantasy world, like trying to get your mind out of all of this is how things come. Like, manifestations happen quicker as we trust more, right? It's normal, right? And if doubt creeps in, which it will, because this is the human, and this is our programming, what do? I know you're going to say it. Fill in the blank. Stand in the awareness. Right? Stand in awareness of this. And acknowledge the doubt. Acknowledge the worry. Acknowledge the fear. Say, oh, I see you. And what do? You want to talk to it? And say, I understand why you come up. I know that you're here because you think that you can't trust me, or you can't trust this, but trust me. Like, talk to the fear and anxieties. Like, I always talk to them like they're alive, right? But they're energy. So talk to it and say, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna like breathe it in. I relax, therefore I receive. Like however it is that you want. But when we are in fear mode, which is all of the collective, like the humanity is fear, right? And the news and your social media and TV and magazines or whatever, they keep you in fear constantly. They keep you attached to the goings on of political leaders, They keep you going on with the world, the death, the destruction, the this. And it's just an externalized mirror, right? It's just a mirror of everybody. So if I know it's like, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but like the world changes when you change. When you start to focus inner, but you also start to focus on love and peace and freedom, but not in a tra-la-la way, like, oh, like light and love bullshit, in a freaking honest way. Like, I focus on your dreams and your passions, on what lights you up. You know, not focusing on everyone else, which is a common thing. We all seek approval and validation from others, right? But why don't you seek approval from your avatar? Or your approval from God. Let's like work with this. I always say this to people. It's like a lot of people on this journey are like, oh, I have angels and I have spirit guides and I have God and the creator and whatever it is. Yeah. So why don't you work with them? You know, like this is your team. They're invisible, but they're within you. They're all here, right? They're all you. They're all versions of you. Yes, you are an angel and you are God. They're all versions of you living in this physical plane. So work with them if you feel like they have to be outside of you. You know, if you're not yet understanding that they are you. So what would God do? What would the angel do right now? What would the Archangel Michael do right now? Would he sit here and feel sorry for himself? Would he sit here and allow this abuse to be like, you know, to be, I can't even speak anymore. Allow this abuse. You know, would he allow this person to talk down at him? Would, you know, if that's what's more comfortable for you, put that in your mind, because you're here to live your best life. You're here to experience life. And you're here to experience the ups and the downs. But at one point in your life, it's not like all hunky-dory. It's like, oh, the law of manifestation. I can manifest everything in my life. Because manifesting money and the perfect relationship and the perfect house, these are just like physical rewards. What you're really manifesting is your living your dream life. And we all, like, you know, Pluto, the planet. If the acronym of Pluto, the planet, was peace, love, unity, transformation, and oneness. That's a great way to start trying to attain Pluto in your life. Right? And I don't know, I think I can, actually. I think I'm expressing myself pretty well, but I feel like the idea of like Neville Goddard is what I've been learning about, is really putting feeling into your imaginary world, into your dream. Feel yourself in that perfect relationship, whatever that means. Feel yourself in your home. Feel yourself in your car. Feel yourself in your home. I already said that. In your perfect job. You know, what does that mean, feel, Sabrina? Feel it. Like, go and when you're in your imaginary state, picture yourself shaking the hands of your new boss and thinking, oh, this is what we're going to give you. We're going to give you the patent. We're going to allow you to create whatever you need to create. This, you know, like whatever it is, whatever your dream is. You know, my dream is freedom. I've already said this before, and I just dream of feeling carefree in my life. That money's flowing in and it's not even an option. Money just flows in and out. That love is flowing in from my friends, my family, you know, eventually a partner. If that's the case, I'm not putting any like pressure on myself to be in a relationship, because I love myself, right? right? When I learn to love myself fully, it's not a need of someone else, because I don't need to be loved from another. I love myself, but I appreciate what that other person could bring me. Something, you know, we can have fun together, we can listen, we can talk, whatever. I don't know what it is. Like, it doesn't matter. It's really like, we're always like, I always feel like humans work on this like lesser than platform. We're always looking for something to complete us, to make it, like we need this to make us feel better, but we're everything already. And that's where I wanted to come here and tell you you're everything. And I've said this 1,000 times, and I'm going to continue saying this, because you are everything. And I hope this like video would inspire you to move into that state, that imaginary state, so that you can create these new dreams and these new passions in your life. And not to live, we're not here to live mundane lives. We're not here to live routine lives. And you're like, well, I want to live a routine life. Live your routine life. You know, I'm not here to tell you that. But to me, I see it, I look back and I look at it, and I'm like, oh, MG, I cannot. And it's not like my life is so freaking exciting. You know, I'm not like traveling the world like I used to, and I'm not doing all these things because I just feel something coming. I feel it in my bones. And I'm like, I'm not asking the why, and I'm not asking how, and I'm not asking all these questions. And I'm like, I'm excited. Every day I'm like, okay, I don't see it today, but I'm excited because I know it's coming. And you know what, that moment, I know you felt these moments where something is palpable, you can feel it, but you can't see it because it's there. And it's at that moment. Someone told me not to do that because it's very aggressive. But at that moment, you need to move into a state of trust. Because in that moment, you know, things are like, oh, and then what kicks in for humans? Doubt, fear, impatience. It's like, okay, I feel it. Well, what is coming? Oh, no. Oh, you know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna wait around anymore, right? Because it's on your timing, not on the divine timing. That's the human. It's my time. I'm not waiting around for this anymore because I have things to do, places to go, people to see. And the universe is like, you're for reals? Right? And then what do? We squash, we close the door. We close the door for that opportunity that was right there. And this is like I don't like saying that the universe is testing us and stuff, because I don't want to, but it kind of is. It's like we're testing ourselves. And they're like, come on, Sabrina, just wait, because it's coming. And then it's like, no, I got to do something else. I got to make a plan. So again, there's another thing with plans. A human without a plan is like this aimless wanderer, right? You're just a dreamer. You're a nomad. You're a rebel. You're like who do you think you are? But the human without a plan is actually the one who falls and stumbles and opens the doors to new opportunities. Because they trust that their higher selves, which is God, the universe, the soul, the spirit, have already set out the plan. You know, it's not to say that you're sitting at your home being a lazy ass. I'm not saying that either. I'm saying follow your dreams, like literally follow the dream. Your passion. What is it that you're fully passionate about? You know, I think I talked about this in the last video. It's like, at 7 years old, what did you want to be? Think about that. Put it in that dream state of yours. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but like, what is it right now that you want? What would be your dream life? Why can't you attain your dream life? Because I have no money. I don't have enough money. Oh, that's both, that this is all like this physical reality program that has told you that you can't do that because you're not one of the lucky ones. You're not like you're oh poor you. No, this is what your life is. You're gonna sit in a cubicle and you're gonna do this all day long. So you keep telling that to yourself, to your avatar, your program. But it's time to cancel, clear, delete that program and do you. And you know what? You're going to get tons of comments from the peanut gallery. But I got to tell you, you're the one planting seeds. You know, so that's a perfect example. This is an interesting example that comes from Neville Goddard. Okay, so he talks a lot about this if you watch his videos. You plant a seed and the seed is growing, right? No one questions how long is it going to take? How well, you know, is it going to come out bad? Is it going to come out great? Is it going to be beautiful? When is it? No one's questioning that because it's the natural cycle of a plant or a tree, that it's going to take, well, however it takes to grow, and then after it has to grow the leaves, and then it has to grow this, and has to grow the berries, and has to, right? That's like, it takes time. The same thing with us. When we plant a seed about our dream, like my house that I've been dreaming about for 20 years now, still hasn't come true because maybe it's not the right time. So I'm like fully in acceptance of that. I'm like, okay, it's gonna come when it's the right time, but I know it will. And the moment it does, I'm gonna be with a camera. I'm gonna, hello people, this is it. I'm trusting the divine timing of it. When if you can dream about your partner to be, you can dream about whatever it is, and it's going, and then they're like, okay, perfect, yes, it's coming. But not because you want it in a month, because summer's coming, so I want it in summertime. And if it doesn't happen, then F you. I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna go on Twitter, and get instant gratification. And the universe is like, okay, do that. But, you know, the door will close. And by the time you come back, you know, it might be still closed. Because, you know, like we are rerouting our dreams. Because we don't trust. Because we're not patient. Because we don't love ourselves enough. Because we are attached to people, other people's opinions and viewpoints, and we're not attached to them, but we hold on to them too dearly. And it's not your life. It's their life. Let them lead the life they want to lead. You're not here to control their life. You're not here to control your life either, but you're here to direct your life. So you need to, like, to me, I learned this in the there's so much I've learned, and there's so much I want to share with you too, but like, you know, slowly. But you know, when there is a rejection, I mean, I've said this in so many videos in the past, but when there's a rejection, a delay, you know, or a no, the universe is redirecting you somewhere else. So don't get like, to me, when that happens, when someone turns around and says no to me, or someone rejects me, or whatever, or they cancel, or I'm like, okay, redirection time. You know, they book an appointment, they cancel it. I get a little annoyed, but then it's like, okay, it wasn't meant to be because something. I know it. So I'm like, okay, cool, something better is coming. And that's how I'm living now. And, you know, I gotta tell you, not thinking of what's coming has been so freeing for me. Not thinking of the outcome, or it's the end of the month and do I have enough money. I'm like, I know I will have enough. Now I talk like that. I'm like, oh, this much is coming in, and you know, I'm gonna be selling my notebooks, this many notebooks a day on Amazon, and when I go, it's not happened yet, but I know it will, because I trust. And when the time is right, the time it will be. You know, and it's just it's a more fun way of living, because you're literally working in cahoots. You're in cahoots with the universe. Like, it's like literally working together. And I'm like, okay, guys, so what, you know, like, it's like fun. You know, I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, what you think is right might right for you might not be the way it's supposed to go. So when you try to force things, like forcing situations, forcing relationships, forcing yourself to love, forcing yourself to, the act of forcing is so it's like a misalignment with the universe. It doesn't work. It's not, because we're natural flow, not forcing. So if you find yourself forcing to feel something, to do something, you know, to get up, to go to work every morning, stop. Stop fighting it. Trust. That literally go to bed at night. Why we say at night is because your thoughts are asleep. Right? Your mind is asleep. So you can't come in and like give you like a different ideas. So when you go to sleep and you just imagine and you feel your whole, and you keep doing it night after night after night. Do it for a week, 2 weeks, and let it go. And know that as soon, the first night you did it, has been imprinted in your subconscious mind. And the universe is already working on it. It's like, yeah, okay, it's already planned anyways, right? It's like, okay, it's already planned anyways. It might not come out exactly the way you're feeling it, but it's going to come out in a certain way. And yeah, like, I've had people say, well, what if I dream about killing my husband? I'm like, yo, man, it's not aligned with the fucking universe, right? I said, like, even if you're thinking that, sweetie, like, I mean, maybe he will die because you said that. Like, I don't know. Like, but you understand, right, what I'm saying here? Because, like, it's obviously everything is the best intention. People are crazy, I tell you. I love it. Anyways, okay. So I think that's it. I leave you here. No, just remember, like, I hope you remember a few of these things, but just remember that when things are imploding, it's the time to allow it to implode, allow everything to fall apart in your life, because something greater is coming in your life, right? Everything is working with you, not against you. And if you're feeling like everything is against you, why me? Why did this happen to me? It's not, that's playing victim. And it's also not against you. It's with you. Like, we set your house on fire because it was time to move. You know, we set your thing on fire. Like, we pushed the breakup because it's time to move on, because there's something greater waiting for you. There's a greater love story waiting for you on the other side. You know, there's a greater home waiting for you. There's a greater job waiting for you. Why are you just staying in there? You know, I've said this many times. I owned a jewelry store for 10 years plus. But the actual store was 10 years. And throughout those 10 years, I had like a lot of obstacles. And I didn't pay attention to the obstacles because I wasn't fully into this yet, understanding of this. And if I had listened the first time, I may have closed it and opened something else or done something else. But I didn't. I stayed because of stubborn freaking Taurus that I am. I stayed for 10 years. And I lost a lot of money doing that. But, I mean, I never live with regret. I don't go back and go, oh, I had the best time of my life for 10 years. It's fun. I had jewelry. It was great. But at the same time, the universe, your life, like, is constantly giving you messages. It will, like, a lot of people of you come to me and say, oh my God, I saw 1111, 777, you're seeing it for a reason. It's not like bullshit. Because I got to tell you, I've been seeing 1212, 212, 222 for the past 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, that's union. I don't know what that is, but I'm like, okay. But, or creativity, it could be a lot of things, right? And it's like, it's showing up for a reason. The song that you heard on the radio is telling you something, you know, like, oh, you're like, oh, that stranger that you meet who says something to you, every conversation that you're having with someone, everything is a message. There's no coincidences in life, because this is your dream life. You have created this movie for yourself. So rejoice in it, love in it. Stop holding on to it, though. Stop attaching to the people in it, the places in it, the things in it. Right? We're not here to hold on to these things. That's another thing. I wanted to bring this up, actually. This is a perfect collective dream that came true, and I want to talk to you about this. Yes, before I forget. So, for years now, we're seeing like the movements of eco-friendly, sustainable living, environmentally friendly. The collective is pushing for that. Let's get like this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So, and I look around now, and I had a conversation with someone who was complaining, always complaining. Everybody's always complaining about high prices and everything is so expensive. Canada is so expensive now, expensive. They're just reiterating everything that social media says and the news. And I stopped there, and I closed my eyes. I paused. I took a breath, actually, at that moment. When things like that start to become a little like crazy in my mind, chaotic, I do that now because it just gets me to a 0 point. And I looked at her and I said, wow, okay. And I thought, like, you asked for sustainable living, right? How did you think the universe would respond to that? That what would happen? How does a collective, how do millions of people move their way of being to sustainability? How does that happen? Well, maybe we need to rise all the prices of food, of cars, of luxury items, of freaking clothes, of everything, because then I don't need to buy all these things. Maybe I need to learn how to eat sustainably. I don't need 1,000 freaking chips. I don't need 1,000 breads. I don't need 1,000. I don't need the most, right? So you buy less. And you are sustainable. And you don't need that expensive car. You don't need that you don't need all of this. You don't need anything, because consumption is the reason that we're not sustainable. We have to buy. I need to buy that crystal. I need to buy the 7,000 things. I need to do this. Instead of just being okay with the basics. And I said, okay, the universe delivered. And yet, and still, collective is not happy. Because still they complain. So the universe is like, what the fuck? Excuse me. But seriously, you are never happy. Because you're always wanting more out of. But how does the planet, like, the reason the planet, if the way you guys see it as climate crisis, the planet is in disarray, but you still keep buying. Lots of food, lots of junk, lots of this. That is the part of the problem of the climate crisis, right? Pollution, because of your crap that is sitting in landfills. So that's an interesting, I wanted to share that with you because I found that was your manifestation coming coming true, and yet still not satisfied, right? Still looking for more, still looking for answers, still looking for that. And there's like, trust the frickin' process. Don't see everything as a negative. Stop focusing on putting your attention on the negative part of things. And that's what the humanity does. And because of social media, because of the news, who keeps telling you, making you focus on the negative part of it instead of looking at the positive of it and saying, oh, wow. So imagine, for me, I see it as a positive now. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to live within my means. I'm going to live like you know what, I'm going to tell you a little story. Is like, in the past few years, it's been a bit tough, and you know this, financially for me. And I learned how to eat with everything that was in my fridge and everything that was in my cupboard. And it was amazing. I got more creative in the kitchen. You know, I got more, like, it was fun to eat. Oh my God, like what I just made myself, you know, like I would never have done this. I would have just kept it in my cupboard and gone to eat takeout or, you know, buy more groceries. And this is what this is. We need to learn to be more creative. And the universe is delivering. And yet, right? And you have to, and you could do this as an exercise, which I did, is go back into your, you can go back into your past just to do this exercise, just to see the patterns of where the universe may have come in and said, oh, let's open that door, and where you may have closed it. But look at it and say, OMG. Oh my God, I did this, didn't I? Yes, you did. And it's okay. That's the thing. Laugh at it. There's no point in going, oh my God, I lost $100,000 in this business, or I did this. And it's not losing anything, because money is nothing. It's just like a reward, right? It's not the money. It's the passion, it's the dream, and it's the like accomplishment. It's the feelings of things that we are missing here. It's not the things. You know, it's not the partnership. It's the feeling of being loved, of loving. And that's the game changer. Anyways, I can go on and on and on because I'm excited. And it took me like 4 tries to get here. So I'm excited to share this video. Let me know what you feel about this in the comments. And, you know, like, do that exercise, because it's freeing too, because you also just let that shit go from you, because you're not here to hold on to your past. Remember, your past is gone, finished, over with. There's no point in ever bringing up your past ever again. You know, like, especially if it was in misalignment. You keep, oh, well, you know, I'm never going to meet a partner because before finished. Who you're going to become depends on how you do right now in your life. How you live right now in your life. Right? You want to envision a beautiful future for you? Please do that. You know what? The more you imagine all these beautiful visions, the more I get to see them, because I'm in the collective with you. We're the one. So all my visions, you are getting in your dream time, right? Because we're all together. We're all envisioning freedom, peace, and love. And, you know, I dreamt about this. I could be dreaming about your dream. So please do that. Stop living in fear. Stop living in, I don't have enough. I can't have enough. I hate these people. I hate, like, stop. That's like, why would you want to focus on that? You know, like, I said this to my friend recently. I said, you know, like, I've said this to you many times. Like, if you're talking, you're in a relationship and it's not going anywhere, would you say, what advice would you give your best friend to do? Follow that. That's why I keep telling you. I don't know if I told you at all, actually, but I tell myself this all the time. Sabrina to me is a little bit outside of me. Like, I look at her as God, the universe, Sabrina, spirit, angel, and so those are all like the team I'm working with. Even though I'm Sabrina, but I always like now. If I love Sabrina more because of it, because I want Sabrina to have the best life. Right? I work like that. It kind of it helps me, because this is what we've always learned as a program, to work externally, right? Never on ourselves. So to me, I by putting Sabrina out into the outside, I'm working internally, but she's there, and I'm like, okay, well, how do I want Sabrina to live? Yeah, man, I'm tired of Sabrina like worrying about money, or I'm tired about Sabrina like I want Sabrina to love her body. I want Sabrina to like fully enjoy. Like I literally enjoy the smallest things. And also gratitude, continue with gratitude, because it just changes the mindset. Okay, there's so many things happening in this video. All right, I'm gonna leave you here. I can't thank you. I thank you so much for listening to my like ranty. It's a bit all over the place because that's where I'm at right now, because I am just speaking out of my heart, and I'm feeling really good, and I want to share that so that I could be contagious with all of you. All right, I love you, you know that, I always say that, and I always say that. I say it because I really do love you. I love you, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.